વી આર નોટ બિલ્ડિંગ અક્ષરધામ, અક્ષરધામ ઇઝ બિલ્ડિંગ અસ. કે પહેલાં ગાંધીનગર અક્ષરધામ બનાવ્યું, પછી દિલ્હી અક્ષરધામ બનાવ્યું, અને અત્યારે અહીંયા ન્યૂ જર્સીમાં તો જેને કહેવાય ને કે અદ્ભુત, આમ આખી દુનિયામાં ડંકો વાગી જાય એવું અક્ષરધામ બનાવ્યું. ખાસ કરીને જે આપણા જે શાસ્ત્રો છે કે એનું આખું નિરૂપણ આખા અક્ષરધામમાં જે સુંદર રીતે આખું વર્ણવવામાં આવ્યું છે કે એ કદાચ ખાલી અહીંયાના નહીં પણ આપણા આજકાલના કોઈ પણ યુવાન હોય, ભારતમાં હોય કે કોઈ પણ હોય, પણ એ લોકોમાં એનું જ્ઞાન જો આપણે નાનપણથી જો આપીએ બાળકોને તો એ લોકોને આપણી સંસ્કૃતિ શું છે એ ખબર પડશે. અને આ અક્ષરધામમાં ને આ બધા મંદિરોમાં જે બાળ સભા થાય છે કે જે યુવા સભા થાય છે એના થકી જે આપણી સંસ્કૃતિ છે એના વિશે બધી અલગ અલગ ખબર પડે છે. એટલે બહુ અદ્ભુત આમાં તો જેને કહેવાય ને કે આ કાર્ય સ્વામીએ કર્યું છે, અને એવું જબરજસ્ત કાર્ય છે કે ઓટોમેટિક લોકો દુનિયાના ખૂણે ખૂણેથી અહીંયા ખેંચાઈને આવશે જ.
देखिए, अक्षरधाम का ये मंदिर अद्भुत बना है. ये सदियों तक रहेगा और भारतीय सनातन परंपरा का एक ध्वज बन के रहेगा. हमें बहुत हर्ष है कि एक एक नकाशे का काम, एक एक जो पत्थर यहाँ लगा है इतना सुंदर है. और ये सिर्फ पत्थर से नहीं बना है, ये भाव से बना है. लोगों के हृदय में जो भाव है उससे जो बनता है वो शाश्वत रहता है. तो इस काम में संलग्न जो स्वयं सेवक है वो बहुत भाग्यशाली है. उनको ऐसा एक मौका मिला है इस देश में रह के ऐसे सेवा करने का जिससे वो अपना जीवन में सफलता पाएंगे. और मैं ये आशा करता हूँ जो लोग भी यहाँ आते हैं उनके दिल में, उनके हृदय में सनातन परंपरा का, सनातन ज्ञान का एक अंकुर फूटे. लोग यहाँ के शांति, समाधान और प्रेम का जो सिद्धांत है उसको ले और जीवन में उसको अमल करें.
When I enter into this vicinity of the temple, I felt Akshardham is a great source of inspiration. They are educating people, spreading a message that man should unite, we should love each other. Service part of the Akshardham. How volunteers, how they are serving this institution. That is not a question, but it has rather pricked my mind and it has touched my heart also. And that is the true spirit of service. And moreover, there are certain people who have dedicated the life to serve this institution and naturally in turn serve the humanity.
It's about serving others, and so I really value that I can come every day to work and by working with faculty and staff and trustees, external partners, the county, elected officials, organizations like the BAPS, we make a difference in the life of our community in Edison and in Middlesex County and in New Jersey and even beyond, where we give people the tools they need to get to a better place in life. In addition to all the great work you're doing here on making this a beautiful, welcoming place, all of you who are doing that work are also giving to others in other ways, like donating blood. I think that's an amazing example of how the BAPS community is focused on not just your members and people who might want to come to visit, but the rest of the community who needs the support of like our blood, right? It's a wonderful way to give back to the community. It resonated with me that you've, as a group, made a concerted effort to involve the youth of your community in the design of the art, in being volunteers, in service to the people who come here. They're front and center. The buildings you're creating here should last for not just decades, but hundreds or hopefully thousands of years. And so the meaning you're leaving behind for future generations is really important and will resonate with not just all of us who get the pleasure of coming and being here and seeing the structures and feeling the presence of the divine, but those who come after us, which is really amazing.
Well, the betterment of society is really why one comes into public service, or at least I would hope so. Congressman Pete Sessions, been a member of Congress for 25 years now, have been associated with BAPS for many, many years. Well, the Munir here is literally life of those who choose to come and be a part of not just having a life with God, but the principles of life. The experience is one of exuberance because they have heard the calling that they could make a difference to be a part of the largest temple in the world. Well, His Holiness is, this is the second time that I have met with him. And he and I shared our ideas about the strength and power of not only positive living, but of prayer and bringing together. Deep impression I have as to how important this is to so many people. And when people have faith, when people understand that diversity is important, when they understand that inclusiveness is important, when they talk about their participation, those are the kind of people you want to be around.
What drives me to keep my focus? I say family. Came from strict parents that sacrificed a lot for my brother and I to have the upbringing that we did. And I think what separated us from like where we lived and to where we wanted to go, to where we wanted to be when we were older, was just determination. I'm taken aback by just the building of this whole place and everything that goes along and that happens in this place, and it's all volunteer work. So how do you become good at it to put good enough work or product to make something as extravagant, as beautiful as this? Like, you have to not necessarily want to every day, but you know what you're doing it for. You're wired to be at your best every day. If you see everybody as your brother, you're going to treat them differently as you treat a stranger. And that really hit home for me, because it's just really cool to see everybody here. Even when I'm walking around, like, it's clear that I'm a little bit different, but you know, everybody's, you know, about, like, we're all here to not necessarily to worship the same thing, but we're all here to feel that same togetherness. Leads, you know, with humility. I think that's the biggest thing. There's no job that's too small for anybody. And then when you see your top person doing that, it only inspires you to do the same. You know, the guru all the way, you know, Swami, all the way down to, you know, the tour guide, everybody seemed like they had that respect for each other. So you have to be able to follow before you lead, and it kind of seemed like everybody had been on that same page.
It's just incredible. There's just no words to describe it.
Something to be remembered forever.
This was one of the most impressive places I've ever been to.
It is one of the wonders of the world.
It's a mind-boggling. Words cannot express.
A big salute to all volunteers, because without them, this is nothing.
Passion and the volunteerism to me was really remarkable.
I think the most amazing thing about all of that is the volunteer force.
Wearing those hard hats, and I saw a lot of the young women with their hard hats and drilling away and chiseling away. And it's just very, very inspiring to see that.
This dedication we'll never find anywhere else.
Places like this are here to kind of break down barriers and bring people together.
Growing up in the United States, you really don't get to see the Indian culture.
What an asset that I didn't have growing up, but my children will now have, and generations to come will have.
I've been a police officer here for 20 years, but in the few weeks preparing for this event, I've learned the culture, and to see how much pride, ownership, spirit, love for it, from the spiritual costumes to the dance to the everybody involved. It was a group feeling. It was fantastic. You know, I look at BAPS and I think it like this. This is my theory. I may not be Chinese, but I could go to the Great Wall and go to the Great Wall for what? The culture and the architecture, right? But I have this in my backyard, and not only do I have this in my backyard, it's the most beautiful thing. And where people were building that Great Wall hundreds of thousands of years ago, whatever it be, I got people like yourself building this today. And in 5 years, what are they going to be doing? They're going to say, Mommy and Daddy built this. Talk about pride and ownership.